Happy Monday, Striver. I hope this morning you woke up with a fresh mind, a readiness and a willingness to enter this week open, excited, optimistic, confident. I hope you told yourself a story about what is possible for you and your life and your family this week. I hope when you open up GrowthDay app, if you went to that journal and did your morning mindset, or you did a little plan and set up a little checklist for what was going to happen this week, I hope you told yourself good and empowering stories about yourself in this week. Because isn't that what we do every single morning? You know, so many people talk about a morning routine, but they often forget that so much of what's happening as a routine in our mind is the stories we tell ourselves. The stories we tell ourselves about why we have what we have or don't, why we're experiencing the kind of life that we're experiencing now, who caused it, why we are the way we are, what's possible for us. We tell ourselves all these stories that are really make-believe. You know, so many of our own obstacles or our own limitations are just narratives in our mind. A narrative that says, I can or I can't. I'm worthy or unworthy. I give myself permission or I don't. Other people will understand or they never will. I'm good, I'm bad, I'm capable, I'm not. We tell ourselves so many stories, and those stories often dictate the direction of our lives. I've come to find after being a coach for so long, you can kind of simplify a lot of things going on in our head. Our thoughts are either helpful or they're hurtful. And as we weave those thoughts into narratives and stories and identities, we either find ourselves empowered, pulled into the future, excited about our day, ready to crush it on Monday, or it's drudgery. It's hurtful. We punish ourselves by not being perfect, as if punishing ourselves have ever made anyone better. We suddenly decide that, oh, well, you know what? She can have that, but I can't. And we make a whole story up and a whole narrative and a whole chapter and a whole book about why she is the way she is and we can't have it and we can't do it. And then we start comparing ourselves and judging ourselves, and we spin ourselves into these stories that can be terribly disempowering. So what story did you tell yourself this morning? What did you decide this morning? Because by the time you've listened to this, you've either started to win the day, to win this week, or you've already started to sabotage. It's like Mel Robbins talks about in her High Five Challenge right here in GrowthDay. If you haven't taken it yet, please smash the challenge section and look for the High Five Challenge. You can take it free. One of the things she talks about is what we say to ourselves in the mirror, how we judge ourselves, the awful things we say to ourselves that we wouldn't say to another person. And I know that's not true for everybody listening right now, but there's those down days where you question yourself. And maybe you don't think it's so terrible, but if it's day after day after day after day of questioning and judging yourself, what you're doing is putting a big old brake pad on your life. It's not that we need to make believe stories that we're perfect. We don't have to make believe stories that every part of our life is a 10 out of 10. We don't have to make believe that everything is always all right. Sometimes the true story is we're struggling. We're tired. We're hurt. We're confused. Those are okay stories too. The difference is some people live in that chapter forever, and other people learn to turn the page by realizing they get to scribe that next page. They get to start that new chapter, that they're the ones in their life over a long period of time, often holding that pen, getting to be that writer of your own destiny. So what story are you going to tell this week? By the end of this Friday, what story will your life have told? I think about that a lot because I've been with a lot of people, and as they've contemplated the meaning of their life, specifically towards the end of their lives. And there's always a story. And they love to tell them. And they love to describe what their life was like. And honestly, you can tell how they usually lived it by the way they describe it towards the end. If it's full of regret, anger, or loneliness, often the stories they told themselves on the Mondays were disempowering, were hurtful for their progress, were divisive with other people. Those are the worst stories, the ones where we say, I'm not like them, they're not like me, we're so different, I can never have the success they had, and they don't deserve any. Some of those are, well, I've been treated this way, so I'm unlovable. I'm unworthy. I'm not good enough. And what do? We limit our actions that week because, well, you tell your story that way in so many ways, you end up being sour about the day, about the week, about your opportunities. You tend to suffer in silence the worse your stories are about yourself and about your potentials in life. But I've also met people towards the end, it's like they're telling the most entertaining, adventurous, heroic love story you ever heard. And those people, as you dig down, they often love to share how they thought about life. And it was helpful, empowering. They thought of all the things that they were blessed with in life. On a daily basis, they thought about the things they appreciated. They thought about the luck that they had along the way. Oh, if this hadn't happened, then I would have never met her or him. And then this wouldn't have happened. And then that couldn't happen. And if I hadn't shown up and made that one decision, this wouldn't have happened. And they're telling the tale as if it's the greatest narrative. Not from a place of ego or narcissism, but rather just joy and surprise and gratitude about it. They're amazed by their own life story, no matter whether you think it's a big story or not. They can't believe it. They're just like, wow, this is amazing that I got to live this life. They tell themselves empowering stories about why doors open for them, why they met a person at just the right time. They talk about their gifts and their blessings. They tell themselves stories about all the opportunities they had, while others say, I have no opportunities. These folks tell themselves the stories, and often they make the opportunity manifest. It's so funny. It's all make-believe, isn't it? So much of it is just make-believe. And when I think about that, believe it or not, as weird as the messages might sound on a daily fire for you here in Growth Day, I find it an empowering idea. We're all making up stories about who we are. Why not make up good ones? In our own mind, tell ourselves a story that's empowering. See ourselves as not some conquering hero that's not true, but no, be honest with where we're at, but also describe for ourselves a future that's beautiful, loving, healthy, adventurous, abundant. Think about that for a minute. This is a Monday. What story did you tell yourself about this Monday, about this week? I'm that annoying person that I think of each Monday as this fresh slate, this bold new opportunity. I'm at a frontier of a week. I just think, oh my gosh, God, please grant me the ability to focus this week, to serve with excellence this week, to be a force of love this week. I ask for presence and positivity. And I think that this week is just one more week on the grand story of being able to make an impact in this world. Some weeks, not much happens. Other weeks, it feels monumental. But either way, fresh eyes for you, fresh page, new chapter. You get to tell yourself the story of what's going to happen this week, and then you get to manifest it and live into it. And I think that's incredibly empowering. I want to thank you for tuning in to this Daily Fire right here in Growth Day. I love doing these for you all. So please make sure you go to the community, maybe share some lessons or ideas you learned today. It's Monday, so I got to encourage you, open up your journal, do your morning mindset, then go to your plan section and plan out your to-dos and your checklists or your tasks for the week. Make sure you include one plan in there called Friday Finishers. And in Friday Finishers, all I want you to do is just create a list of things that you're going to finish by 5 p.m. your time on Friday. You're just going to get it done. That's what you're going to deliver, finish, complete. That's the thing. Momentum. Every week, I think, I'm going to make this week incredible. This is going to be a fantastic week. Doors are going to open. I'm going to be able to serve. I'm going to show up in the best in which I'm capable. Blessings are going to come left and right. It's just going to be an extraordinary, outstanding week. And I know that because I know, just like you, every day is a great day to grow.